This Nitti Beatz.
Here we go again. Here we go. Ghettoville, USA.
What's up, man? It's your boy Nitti, man. You tuning in to You Better Not Lie podcast, man.
First of all, thanks a lot, man. This is episode 22, and it's called The Beat Goes On, featuring legendary platinum producer, Nitti Beatz, man. Welcome you to the show, bro.
Thank you, man. How you?
I can't complain, man. My man Lil Gates spoke very highly of you, and it was only tap in, man. You know, what's going on down there All-Star Weekend?
Man, you know, a lot of people in the city, man. Welcome to Atlanta. A lot of people in the city right now. So, you know, it's a party going on right now, but you know, we're gonna make it do what it do, you know.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, sad news, man. I heard a rapper from Houston was killed in Atlanta, man, last night. A guy named Chucky Trill. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that. What?
Yeah,
What? No,
yeah,
what happened?
He's from Houston. He was visiting Atlanta this All-Star Weekend, and last night, allegedly, his car got shot up on the highway. So, man, you know, y'all brothers be safe down there in that A, man. It's a different story down there right now, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I want to send condolences out to him and his people, man. You know, I hate that, you know, that kind of stuff going on already, man. The weekend just getting started, man. But, you know, it's kind of rough. It's rough, man, you know.
This is the segment of the show where I give you your flowers while you can smell them. You began doing production for a lot of local cats in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You produced 7 songs on 8 Ball and MJG's album called Almost Famous, right?
Yep.
Including the hit single Stop Playing Games. Is that correct?
Yeah, you done did some homework for real, huh?
That's right. Okay. You also did production work on many projects released with Jermaine Dupri. Can you name some of those projects you worked on, like the Brat, Bow Wow, any of those artists?
Yeah. I did some stuff on some of the Bow Wow albums and projects and stuff, and did some work with Brat. A lot of people over there when I was over there was like Brat, Bow Wow, Jonte Austin was there, Daz was over there a little while, No ID was there. So
Jagged
there was
Edge?
a lot of people over there, huh?
Was Jagged Edge there?
They weren't there when I was there. That was like after Jagged Edge, you know what I'm saying? But you know, everybody was still coming around every now and then, so you know, and come through and say what up, you know what I mean? But you know, mostly it was like that second generation of So Def that was there.
Okay, all right, okay. Also, you in 2007, you secured a production deal with Warner Brothers, man. Like, tell me about that. Like, you know, like did you build up a resume where they came to you, or you had to go and look for that deal?
Well, they pretty much came to me, man, and they initially gave me a song deal, and I did like I want to say I did like a 10-song deal over there at Warner Brothers at the time, and you know, they showed love, and then once I did the song deal, they wanted to have, you know, like a little input on some of the artists, you know what I'm saying, that I might think I want to mess with, but at the time, I think Tom Wally was there at the time, you know what I mean, and at the time they had a new president of the black music or something, and me and Dude, we just didn't get along, you know what I mean, so we never could get that going right, but you know, much love to Warner though.
Okay, all right. Now, who was the person that says this is a Nitti beat? Was that your son?
Nah, that was a little dude, man. That was a little dude, man, that I knew through some mutual people, and you know, little dude, you know, he got paid off that.
I'm about to ask you, like, every time that plays, did he get a little bit? Did he get a nice little check?
Well, I can't disclose that, you know, because of, you know, some stuff, you know, that was handled, you know what I mean. But he's straight though. He's taken care of, well taken care of.
All right, that's dope. All right, your sound is primarily sample free. So, you know, when I was reading up on you, they say you really try to stray away from using samples. You rely heavily on synthesized sounds and things like that. So that means you ain't using Fruity Loops and none of that stuff like that, are you?
Nah, I make my own loops, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get more of the power when you stay sample free, you know what I mean? So I love music, man. So I just like to mess around with, make beats and make it sound like a loop or something, you know what I'm saying? But I replay something, but I don't really like messing with the original, you know, composition. I leave that alone.
Okay, now they also credit you as being like a forefather of the snap movement.
Okay.
And and for us Jersey and New York artists, we pissed off at you about that because it fucked us up. We couldn't get no deals.
Hey, you know what? Hey, listen, you know what though? I'm gonna say something though, like, cause I got a lot of family in Brooklyn and stuff. Shout out to my whole family in Brooklyn. I got people in Jersey. But listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The only way that we came about with, that whole snap music and stuff was because we couldn't get no deals down here. Y'all niggas had it on lock for like 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So we had to do something we had to do something to get some attention, man. So, I think we deserve that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't mad at you, but I ain't gonna lie. When y'all kicked the door in, when the South kicked the door in, that shit ain't never opened up again for up north artists. Like y'all had it, y'all got y'all foot on niggas' necks right now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give respect where it's due. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just try to keep it moving, man. Like, like we always, anybody down here tell you, we always salute up top because we have to still go to up top to get most of our business handled. You know what I mean? So, we're going to always salute up top. You know what I'm saying? Like my homie Low, you know what I'm saying? He from up top. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of my best friends to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing about people up top, y'all some of the most loyal people in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I always salute that and respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the people that I met early in my career up top, the first person I met up top was Diddy. And then the second person I met was Kevin Lyles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everything those guys told me they would do, they did it. You know what I'm saying? I've got, like I had never seen that until I dealt with people up top.
Right.
So, that's one of those things that I have to salute it. And I'm always respect people up top for that, man. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now I respect. I definitely respect that. So tell me about Playmaker Entertainment. Like, is that a label? Is it just your production company? Like, what is Playmaker?
Playmaker was pretty much my company that I signed as a production company. And but I moved like an indie label. You know what I mean? So with Playmaker, it was more so a setup to where I wanted to set up my own company that I can introduce new artists and producers and songwriters because down here in Georgia, it's real political. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, you got different cliques and stuff down here, but a lot of people won't let you in the circle unless you know somebody who knows somebody. You know what I mean? So that was my thing of, it was hard for me to get in the game. So I wanted to set up something that I can, give opportunities to people who I thought need chances like I deserved. And it was hard for me to get in the game, you know what I mean? So that's what Playmaker's all about, making plays and just connect the dots.
Okay, all right, that's a good answer. All right, so tell the people where you're from, man, in Atlanta. Like, what side of town you claiming, man?
East side, Decatur. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm from Decatur, man. So you ever heard of Decatur?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was signed to Red Zone in 1999. I was down there from 99 to 2001. I was signed to Laney.
Oh yeah, Laney Stewart, great guy, great producer, man. Him and his brothers Tricky and all them. Yeah, that's why I remember you from, man. I remember you now. I remember you.
Yeah, I was a young boy when I came down there. I was 19. And that's when they had Blue Cantrell, they had Soleil, Genuine was there, JT Money, and man, Don Vito was a good friend of mine when I was there.
I used to come over there and work in Vito's studio in there. That's why I remember seeing you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
and that Vito, that's like Vito is like my big brother. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy that actually he cut me my first industry check. You know what I mean? So shout out to Vito, man. He's helping actually put together. I'm putting I ain't really told nobody, but I'm finishing the touches on my album right now. So I got like a project, and he's helping like executive, kind of like A&R, if you want to say. So but yeah, shout out to Red Zone, shout out to Trick everybody, man. Congrats on you, man, with your new show right now. I'm loving this.
I appreciate it. What type of upbringing did you have in the A, man? Did you have siblings, both parents? What was your story?
I grew up with my mother, man. Single parent, and I grew up with her. Didn't have a dad growing up. I grew up in the church. You know what I mean? And I played drums in the church, and started messing around with keys and stuff every now and then. And I just learned, that was like my school of production, going to church every Sunday playing. And, you know, I did that from like 6 or 7, 8 years old up until, you know, I was about 17. And then I went to high school in Atlanta, and I was in performing arts, you know what I mean? So I went through all that stuff, man. And then after that, took a little break out of the music.
Who introduced you to music? Was it somebody like when you was in the church, or like, you know, who put you on to like music and that being your passion?
I would say the person that put me on the music is my mother, man. I remember we stayed in South Georgia.
Right.
And like what we'll be doing is, you know, I remember taking long roads trips with her and stuff. You know, we eating on cold chicken sandwiches with bread. And when some music come on that she liked, you know, since she started beating the seats and stuff, and I'd be sitting behind her beating on the headrest and stuff, you know what I mean? And
did you play any instruments in the church? You played any instruments?
Yeah, I played drums, I played keys, I played all bass, lead guitar, acoustic, you know what I mean? So I just love music, period, man. You know what I mean? Like music, you know, without music, man, I don't know what I'd be doing, you know what I mean? So you know, but it ain't nothing that I can't play, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, when I don't sample, so I gotta play it, you know what I mean?
Right. All right. So growing up in the South, who were some of the artists, you know, that you heard, that you grew up listening to that inspired you?
Of course, you know, UGK, 8 Ball, MJG, you know, Mystical, No Limit, all that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Puff, the whole Bad Boy thing, Tupac. You know, I grew up listening to what, you know, we didn't really, in Atlanta, it was one of those things where we didn't really discriminate what good music came out of. So it doesn't matter what the music came out of, we just want to hear good music, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just always like music. I love West Coast music, I love East Coast, you know, I listen to all that stuff, man. So it didn't matter, as long as it was good music, you know, like I said, you came to Atlanta and you stayed up top, right?
Right.
So it's like, it didn't matter.
Nah,
yeah.
Definitely.
So music is universal language, you know?
Right. All right. Did you get your big break from Jermaine Dupri, or was it from 8 Ball? Like who gave you your first well, I think you said Don Vito gave you your first check, but I'm talking about as far as like working with, you know, big time artists, you know, who was the first person that introduced you to that side of the game?
I would have to say it was 8 Ball.
Okay.
8 Ball, 8 Ball was the one that took me out of Atlanta and you know, started putting me on planes and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, come to Houston. I'm about to book your info and stuff. I'm like, okay. You know, I had never been riding on no plane and stuff. So I had to say it was 8 Ball because he was already in the game. So by the time I connected with him, you know, and that was my first gold record that I got, you know what I mean? So when I did that album, I was like, dang, you know what I mean? Okay, I can do it. It gave me motivation, you know what I mean? So I would say it was 8 Ball, man. And he introduced me to Diddy. And, you know, once I just started taking notes and stuff from Diddy, you know what I'm saying? I started learning the business and stuff. And, you know, once I got with JD, I would say I wasn't seasoned, but I had a better understanding by the time I got to So Death.
Yeah, and how did that initial meeting happen with So Death?
I had a manager at the time that was had a good relationship with So Death. And he pretty much took me over there and was like, you know what, you know, I think I wanted to meet JD at the time, you know what I mean? And JD was hot, you know, I wanted to meet him. And you know, he took me over there, I met him, and you know, they was like, they want to give me a situation because they seen I was making noise out here on my own. Once I met him, he gave me a situation, and he gave me a production deal to where I could sign acts up under So Death. And whatever distribution they had at the time, you know, he would take me over there with him. And, you know, anywhere he went, I got situations. So shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. So initially, how did you meet Yung Joc? Because before you answer that question, right?
Yeah.
The myth is that Yung Joc had one of the hottest records where it's going down in Atlanta, right? They said Puffy was in a nightclub, overheard the record, he had to have Joc. I mean, is that truth to the story, right? Is that a truthful story?
I can say it's partially true. You know, before it got to that stage, I could say that it was a situation to where I met Joc. I had an artist named Misbehaving. I'm gonna tell you how that whole story went.
Right.
I had an artist named Misbehaving. Joc was the hype man for this female artist that I had.
Right.
And I met Joc through one of my homies named Chino Dollar. So
Okay.
Chino Dollar had Joc as an artist, and we was on the road doing like little small tours.
Mm-hmm.
And we came back off the road, and you know, Joc always had a lot of character, a lot of energy and stuff. So we came off the road, and we was in different, you know, when you go to different cities and stuff, you see people doing different dances and all that old stuff. So we came back to Atlanta, and we went right in the studio, and I made the beat, and Joc started writing and stuff, and you know, he was like, man, I got a hit. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he started writing, and you know, we co-wrote the record together. And
Okay.
the record came out being we didn't know it was a hit. We knew we liked the record though, you know what I mean? And Joc started performing the record at like open mics. So he I think they started at that time, people started asking about who was it. And the homie Block called me, and he told me, he said, Joc and Chino over here, they trying to, you know, they want to you know, they trying to get me to you know, give them a situation or whatever. So I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I always respected Block because he called me and asked me, you know what I'm saying, was it okay? And I respect that from dude. You know, a lot of people thought that, you know, when stuff took off, they thought that me and Block had an issue. Me and Block actually knew each other before Joc. You know what I mean? So it was never an issue with me and Block. And I never had an issue with any of them. You know what I'm saying? It was just people didn't understand the business. So they just was like, well, Nitti ain't being around. So that means, you know, it must be some beef or something going on. But there was never no beef or nothing like that. It was just more so outsiders trying to figure out what's going on, because that was the only record I produced for Joc. You know what I mean? And it was just, you know, I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit of, you know, kinks that had to be worked out. But, you know, we all good friends to this day. You know what I mean? So it's all love.
And okay, all right, that's cool. All right, so my question with that, being that you said it was some kinks, not to push the envelope, but when a record like that happens organic in the basement or however it got cooked up, it becomes a hit. Mm-hmm. Now, Bad Boy is the label, the parent label.
Yeah.
Did you have an issue grabbing that paper from Puff to say, listen, I produced that, show me some love?
Nah, I mean, it was all love. By the time it got to Puff, I think Block took it to Kim Porter, and or something happened. I don't know what happened, but no, it wasn't no issue. Like I said, Kevin Liles was actually the person that, you know, I talked with about the whole situation when it was going on. And you know, he was the one that told me, Nitti, look, go ahead and you know, y'all put that record out, y'all do what y'all need to do, handle all the business and stuff. And you know, he was like, you know, you'll thank me one day. And I thank them, you know, I thank him every time I see him, because that record, honestly, you know, that was a record that impacted my life in my career. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to Kevin Liles, shout out to Block, shout out to you know, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. It was a game changer. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was a blessing for everybody.
Right. To date, is that your biggest record?
On the charts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, you know, it was 8 weeks at #1 on Billboard. Right. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a record that impacted, because it was a timing too. You know, a lot of records, they pop because of the timing. Right. And that was one of those records that it hit at the perfect time where people was looking to get something to party to. And it was just one of those records that the North liked it, the South liked it, the West Coast liked it. So it was a universal record that was a blessing.
Right. And it's going down also shifted the culture in the game, especially in the South. You know what I mean? It changed the game when it dropped. It made people want to gravitate and come to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's like that record was so big, like when you heard the drums and you heard the little the beat, you like, yo, what the fuck was that? And then once I added that to it, it was a phenomenon. You know what I mean? So shout out to you for that.
Yeah, nah, man, it was just like, it was good energy. You know, if we got them. If y'all move, we got them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to salute New York for that, man, because, you know, when Puff, he loved it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just one of those things where, you know, if we get New York is hard. And I respect that because y'all don't accept no BS. You know what I mean? So, but if y'all like it, hey, man, it's love. You know?
They say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
That's true, brother. That's word. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go with that all day long.
All right, so you're credited for discovering Yung Joc, Dae-Dae, K Camp, Miko Montana, and a few others. Is there a certain criteria that an artist must have to get on your radar?
I mean, they just got to be a star in my eyes. You know what I mean? If they're a star, and I think they got some good music, you know, we could work out the rest, but they got to be a star initially. You know, if they're a star, you know, and I see it in them, you know.
Yeah. Now explain that. You mean like what? Charisma, the look, the whole package.
Yeah, they got to walk in that room and be a star. Like if I see them and they look like they something that people want to see on the stage, and the way they move, their confidence when they go in a room, you know what I'm saying? You know, how they act, you know what I'm saying? All that makes a star. And then the music it play a big part. You know what I'm saying? If the music sound good and they can sell the music, then, you know, we could do business all day long, you know?
Right. All right. So today, there's some producers out there, you know, like me. I'm from Jersey, so we got a lot of producers that I came up with, like Cardiac, the Megahertz, you know, the list go on and on. It's a lot of producers out here from Jersey that made their name. What would you say was your biggest check to date? Because they're watching right now, they want to know, like, if I jump in this game, how much can I make off this shit? So for somebody like yourself that been to the promised land, what would you say? A 6-figure, a little under, like what? Off of beats.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely make, you know, you can make a good living with music. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the record is, you know, the higher the check goes. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you get to the point if your record make it the #1, you're gonna get some good, decent money coming in as long as you handle your business. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, of course, you know, records like the Going Downs and the Rich Homie Quan records and the Stop Playing Games and that album and stuff, you know, it all, you know, checks, you know, that's one thing, but, you know, you want to make money in the music industry that's going to, you know, keep coming in, you know what I mean? And if you make a good record that stay around and people want to play it even when the record's not on Billboard, then, you know, you'll continue to get blessed.
Okay.
You know?
All right. If you could if you could tell a producer out there the 3 things that they need to be a successful producer, and I mean on the aspect of business, what team play do they need on their team in order to be a successful producer?
They got to stay creative, and, you know, get you an attorney, you know what I mean? And just get you good management if you don't have relationships, you know what I mean? And other than that, you know, the rest is gonna boil down to what you putting out. You know what I mean? Like if you putting out some good music and people can sell your music and, you know, people want to buy your music, then you shouldn't have no problem. And you got to keep a good attitude too and stay humble. You know, it's a lot of producers I've seen, you know, once they get their first check, then they become arrogant, then niggas don't want to work with them no more. You know what I mean? So, you know, one thing about me, and I tell anybody who know me, they know I'm gonna remain humble. I've been the same person, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't never switched up because, you know, I never really looked at the music as something that's gonna make me, you know what I'm saying? I was who I am before music, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just gotta, you know, just stay solid, be 100. That's it.
All right, that's good advice. Now you was lucky enough to do business with guys like Young Jeezy, Gucci Man, Rich Homie Quan, we spoke about 8 Ball, Yung Joc. Like, give me a good Gucci story. You got a good Gucci story?
Yeah, Gucci Man, like that's I got a lot of them, man. Lord tell you though, but now Gucci is one of the most creative people, man. I can tell you one time Gucci was going through label transition. He got off a label called Big Cat Records, right?
Right.
So he was in between that deal and the Atlantic deal. So you know, he didn't have nowhere to record, man. So Gucci called me one day. He was like, Nitti, meet me at the studio. I was like, what studio? He said, he gave me the address. So I get over there. Gucci done rented out a Marriott suite hotel. He done put up a mic and a computer in there. And we spent about a week over there just making records. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it was right in Atlanta, man. I was like, but you know what? I went over there and we rocked out like we was in Patchwork or the Hit Factory or somewhere. You know what I mean? So Gucci, man, I got a million stories with Gucci, man. That's the homie though, man. Shout out to Gucci. I'm glad he's, you know, he got everything going how he wanted to go. And you know, Gucci, you know, he's a real creative genius.
Yeah, and that's dope. He signed the new youngin' Pooh Shiesty, man. So that was a good move for him right there. I don't know if you know
Gucci, man. Gucci, I always know how to pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, he know how to pick him, man. You know, he got an ear for music.
Back to that hotel story. What about padding? Did y'all have padding in the room, or y'all ain't worried about that at that time?
Man, listen, hey man, Gucci so raw, wasn't no padding going on. It was just, you know, we were just in that studio, man. It was in that hotel, just rocking out. You know what I mean? And he write records so quick, like he'll write 7 records in one day. You know what I mean? You know, but Gucci, he's real creative. Always been creative, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, we rocked out, man. We go up the street, go get some crystals, come back to the studio, and you know, OJ the Juice might come through there and rock out. You know what I mean? But you know, Gucci always been Gucci, man. I always been 100. Always been solid. I always been a good person, man, like a brother. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now I spoke about we spoke about Gucci. What about Jeezy? I see you did their first record, the Boys in the Hood record with him and Jody Breeze and all them guys. Like, how did you meet those guys to do that record?
Well, you know, it go back to Block. Block, that was a group that Block put together. And Boys in the Hood, we did the Boys in the Hood album prior to doing the Yung Joc project. And you know, actually what's crazy, man, a lot of people don't know this, but the record called Them Boys, that was a record that I initially did for an artist named Big Gee. He was in Boys in the Hood. Okay. And that record was about 2 years old by the time y'all heard everybody else on that record. And you know, it was like by the time Jeezy and Jody and everybody got on there, it was like a remix. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, but yeah, it was like it was a record that came together real good. And you know, me and Jeezy, we did some other records together and stuff. So it was just, you know, a lot of niggas in Atlanta just trying to work, man. We didn't have no idea of where we were really going, but we were just trying to do music, man, and just get out there and get our music heard. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. So do you think that it's easier as a producer now to make money, or do you prefer, or do you think that back in the day, like when you had popped off with, you know, It's Going Down and those big hits, that it was easier to get money then than the digital era now? What do you think?
I mean, I think it was more structured back then. Like right now, you got people just throwing music out there and their business not even getting handled. You know what I mean? So, you know, back then it was structured. Right now, it's just everybody it's wild west right now. You know what I mean? So everybody just throwing music out there. And because there's so much music coming out there, you know, a lot of records are not growing like they used to grow. You know what I mean? So that's the hard thing about it right now. But, you know, it's enough money out there to be made for everybody. You know, if you get it out there and you get it done right, you know, you can make money. Then, you know, the show's starting to pick back up now too. So, you know, it all depends on what system you in or who you're around that can make the stuff go right, you know?
How does Nitti stay relevant in 2021 though?
Man, I mean, what I do is I always sign producers up under me, because I don't never want to be the only producer just working and not have no new people coming up under me. You know what I mean? So, you know, besides the producers and songwriters, you know, I always sign acts and stuff. So I got a new act that I signed out of Houston, Texas, named Mr. Wired Up. And I got another act that I signed out of Atlanta named Woody. You know what I mean? So we just wrapping up both of their albums right now. So we're gonna be dropping those probably around springtime.
Okay. Is this strictly on Playmaker, or you got some labels involved?
Yeah, Playmaker's an indie production company slash label. You know what I mean? I still have other situations and stuff, but I have the option to put out music 100% independent if I want to, you know. So, you know, we never stop, you know, putting out music regardless of if we take them to a major or we keep it independent, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's the luxury of being a producer and a CEO at the same time. You kind of move when you want to.
That's true. All right. Of course, you already know it's smoke time.
All right.
You know, there was some controversy a couple years back.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Huh?
I don't want to talk about none of that.
Got you. With all due respect, I'm gonna move to the next question. All right. How does an indie artist get a Nitti beat? Like, is it like, do you have a price for the majors and a price for the indies? Do you have a different folder for the
man, we take it all around here, man. We don't turn no checks down, man. You know, we finance around here, you know what I mean? So, you know, we get it, man. We work with people, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I just want.
But you know, if the music sounds good though, you know, a beat don't cost nothing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because you already see the potential in it.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question is, who's on Nitty's radar? What's in your playlist? Like, or are you one of those musicians where you just kind of tapped into your own thing, or are you checking for some of these young guys? Let me know, like, who's on Nitty's radar? What you listening to?
Man, what I listen to right now is I listen to whoever's doing numbers, and I want to know why they doing numbers.
Right.
So I'm listening to NBA. I'm listening to Pooh Shiesty. I'm listening to Lil Baby. I'm listening to The Baby. I wanna know what they doing, and you know, I think with all these new cats out here, man, there's so many of them that are doing music that, you know, they making people move and they making people want to hear what they putting out next. So evidently they're doing what they're supposed to do. So, you know, I'm always checking to see who's hot and who's making noise and who's gonna be next. But you know, like I said, everybody's doing their thing right now, holding it down. You know,
right.
So shout out to the new one.
All right, okay, that was love. Are you tapped in with my favorite artist from the A right now? You may disagree with me, but I like Young Thug. I like what Thug is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ran across Thug? Have you done some work with Thug yet?
We hadn't really did any work like together, but Thug is a genius, man. Like, he's somebody that I've seen him work. I've been in the studio with him when he works, and you know, I don't care, you know, about nothing else, whatever they say about that dude, man. That dude is a genius in the studio. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love the music he do, and just to watch him record is amazing. You know what I mean? And he's really creative, man. He's creative. I think he's gonna be here a long time. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, in closing, right? My last question. I see you produced a record called Bust for Bankroll Fresh. Do you have any Bankroll Fresh memories or any stories or how that record came about?
Yeah, we was man, that's crazy, man. Rest in peace to Bankroll, man. That little dude, man. I met Bankroll through I had an artist named Yung Capone that I signed, that me and Jermaine Dupri, we put him out and signed him together. But I met Bankroll through him. And Bankroll was just the humblest guy in the world that wanted to just make it in the industry. And Bankroll got caught up in some stuff where I think it was more so people seen him rising and getting larger. And I think, you know, just like, you know, I went through it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I done had a lot of people that they might have seen me rise and come up in the game and stuff. And some people be happy, some people don't be happy. You know what I mean? So they looking for any little thing to get mad at Bankroll about, you know what I mean? Or me about, you know what I mean? But Bankroll was he was a genius, man, and he was real creative. But the Busted record was a record that me and DJ Spence produced together at his house. And Bankroll came over there, he sat on a stool and he recorded it. And he had like a little chair in the middle of the room, and he just recorded it. And he was real creative, man. Good person, man. He was never negative. And you know, I went to the wake, and I didn't go to the funeral, man. But I never forget, man. He was laying there. He had on some Timberland boots, some jeans, and he had on a jersey, not a Brave jersey.
Right.
And it was a sad moment that, you know, I hated that I even, you know, seen it like that, you know. Yeah, but R.I.P. to Bankroll.
Yeah, he had a strong voice, man. I like he's on that record with Jeezy, like the last record that he did with Jeezy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. Like they said that when Jeezy plays that record with Bankroll being gone, it's like that's like the heart of Atlanta when they hear him on that record. Is so powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Bankroll, man. Like I said, man, I just hope that, you know, in Atlanta, man, we can get over the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Atlanta, we got this thing going on, and you know, Atlanta is not what you're seeing on the news and what you're hearing about. Like, that's only certain people in Atlanta. We got a couple of bad seeds that don't respect, you know, the nice atmosphere that we created. You know what I mean? So, you know, hopefully, you know, we can get over the BS and we can get back to Atlanta being Atlanta. You know?
Okay. All right. Any future records that you did? Anything with Future? I mean, you know, because I see you work with Rocco. Rocco and Too Short had a record you produced called Sucker.
Yeah. Sucker was a record I gave to Rocco, and he heard the record and he was like, "Man, let me mess with that." And it came out. He put Too Short on there, and it was. I like that record. I ain't heard that record, man. You doing your homework for real? I see.
Nitty, I ain't gonna play with you, man. You a legend, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and I salute you for that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just, like I said, right now I'm having a good time right now recording music, and you know, it's just a blessing right now, man. You know, everything's going on right now, man. I think it's time to put out a lot of new music, and I'm gonna give y'all that this year.
And that's what I was gonna ask you for the last question for 2021. What can the fans, what can the people see in the next few months, or, you know, next quarter or whatever, you know, what's dropping from Playmaker?
I'm gonna finally give people a Nitti album. So I got an album that I just wrapped up, and I'm waiting on one more verse from one person in particular. So the album is done. I got Mr. Wild Up out of Houston that I just signed.
Right.
Crazy. I got Woody out of Atlanta I just signed. So all these albums, he's done with his album Wild Up. He's wrapping up his project right now. So ain't no telling, man. I'm just gonna put out a lot of music this year, man. And I'm gonna probably, you know, I'm gonna flex my muscle a little bit. You know what I mean?
Look, as you should.
Yeah, I gotta give him some music right now. It's time, man. I gave everybody a break right now to put out what they gonna put out, but you know, right now I'm about to turn the flame up a little bit right now. So get ready. Okay,
all right, cool. Now we talked about the rappers, we talked about your history, but I don't think we talked about some producers that you respect. Now you got Take Heed, you got Mike Will made it, you got the list go on and on, the new producers that's out right now. Give me a list of some producers that you just say, like, man, these guys are some guys you need to watch out for.
Man, you know what, to be honest, like, it's so many of them right now, man. The hottest producer I know right now is my son. My son, Hale.
Your son, the hottest?
I got a 12-year-old son. Oh man, my son, man. When I unleash little dude on the industry, man, he's gonna cause some problems, man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, other than that, man, like, it's so many records and stuff that come out, and producers don't get their credits no more like they used to. Right. So you don't really know who producing what right now. So, you know, a lot of producers don't even know how to brand their name right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know who's producing what right now, but you know, like I said, the hottest producer I know right now is my son. Yeah, so you can reach me at Nitti Beatz, NITTIBEATZ. That's my everything, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, man. Make sure y'all come check out anything I'm doing, man. And thank you, man, for having me on your show, man. I appreciate it, man. It meant a lot.
I appreciate that. But if anybody wants any business, do they hit Marianne or they just hit your IG?
Yeah, just hit Mariam up. Yep. Okay. All right, hit Mariam up and they can get it, man. But I really appreciate you, man. And shout out to Lo hooking this up. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for being patient with me, man. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. And I appreciate you, man. And I wish your company nothing but success and a whole lot of bags for 2021, man. Salute.
Thank you, man. God bless you.
Niggas in my face, damn near every day. Ask a million questions like Joc, where you stay? Tell them college ball, where they chop cars. Hit 20 grand, spend $1 grand at the bar. Just about his own, J's on my feet. I'm on that Patron, so get like me. 69 cutlass.